Hey boys and girls, welcome to another super exciting, outrageous toy review. Today we're taking a look at the Savage World Thundercats figure of Slythe. Yes! I'm immediately drawn to the card art here in the corner. It's a very unusual style of Slythe featured here. Back of the package shows off Wave 1, including Lion-O, Panthro, Mumra, and Slythe, as well as Wave 2, which is rumored to still be coming, including Tigra, Chitara, Monkeyan, and Jackalman. Here we've got Slythe out of the package, and the first thing I noticed was that he was kind of difficult to get to stand on my backdrop. It does challenge some action figures a little bit. It's, kind of a fleecy fabric, so it's a little bit plush. I thought with his tail he'd be no problem at all, but really it seemed like his tail doesn't want to set on the ground, and he just kept trying to wobble forward almost. I think Slythe looks really cool here, but there's something off about his design that doesn't make him feel like Slythe, that he's maybe more of just a generic lizard man. He does have the headdress that kind of sets Slythe apart from the other mutant lizard men from the show, and he's even got the wonky eyes, so it's definitely supposed to be Slythe, but it's just something weird about him. And maybe it's the fact that Slythe was such a bulky character to begin with, and then to get him in this 5.5 style Savage World bulk. It's not the same style of bulk. This is more muscular and less, stocky. And maybe that's what's kind of throwing him off. I'm not sure. But they did do a nice job with a lot of the painted and sculpted details on him. As I mentioned before, he's got his eyes that are different sizes, which was typical in the show. He always kind of was squinting with the one eye. He's got an interesting mouth shape. It does look like I've got one little paint defect there on his face. He's got his gold helmet mask type thing and his finned ears there. I really like the spots they painted on his shoulders and a little bit on his face. I wish they could have carried them through a little bit more on him, but it seems like they didn't put any paint apps on his back here, maybe to find the cost savings where they could. He's got some bands and bracers on his arms, and both of his hands are shaped so they could hold accessories. His accessory is a axe on a long shaft. It looks pretty good, very similar to the accessory the vintage figure came with. He holds it pretty well. You do have to kind of slip it into his hand up here high where the stick is pretty skinny, and then slide it down if you want him to get a good grip on it. On his chest, he's wearing his harness. It's got sort of a scarab beetle type look to it, and then below that is the grass skirt piece, or rags, whatever you want to call it. It looks more like reeds on this figure, and I always felt like the vintage one looked more like rags. He does have some spots on his tail. And I didn't really talk about his articulation as I was going through looking at his descriptors, but his head does turn side to side, his arms spin all the way around. This is a classic 5.5 style figure, so you kind of know what you're getting. His legs are articulated, but I'm going to be very gentle with those because there have been some issues with these figures breaking. There was some quality control stuff going on that Funko was supposedly fixing for the next wave, but we still haven't seen the next wave, so not really sure there. He does have some lizardmen feet. Like I said, though, something about the way his legs are bent, I found it was difficult to get him to stand. His tail is non-articulated, just to kind of give you an idea of how that is sculpted or glued or molded or whatever. It's just kind of permanently fixed there on his rear end.
Slythe, go and destroy the accursed Thundercats.
Slythe will eliminate them, yes.
Thunder! Thunder! Thundercats! Hulk! Go back to Mount Plundar!
It's amazing how many different 5.5 style lines we're seeing nowadays. Zolo World's got figures, Super 7 had figures, Funko's doing figures, Mattel's jumping back into it if you've seen the news from Comic-Con. In the comments down below, let me know what you think of Slythe. Are you collecting these Savage World Thundercats? Are you hoping Wave 2 comes out? Thanks for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, and check out our other videos.